My crazy wife cheated, left me for another guy, and then told me the daughter I raised isn't even mine. About a year and a half ago, my ex-wife, she's 49 now, I'm 48, walked out on me for some guy who just happened to be married to her best friend from high school. Some friend, huh? We'd been together for 20 years, married, and I really believed we had 2 kids together. Turns out I was wrong about that. I recently found out that my little girl, she's 7, isn't actually mine. She's his. My ex knew the truth from the moment she got pregnant and never told me. My name's still on the birth certificate though, and you bet I'm planning to fight for custody. She's been my daughter this whole time, and that document means something legally. She may not be mine biologically, but in my heart, she's my daughter. No question. The truth about the affair just confirmed what I already suspected. It had been going on for a long time. Finding out like that hit me hard. Like a punch to the gut. When I finally confronted my ex and asked her straight up if it was him or me, she didn't hesitate, said it was him. And when I asked why, she looked me dead in the eye and said, because he can go again right after sex. That was her whole reason. Sex. That's what it came down to. Not the fact that I'd worked 2 jobs for years just to put her through school. Not that I kept working so she could stay home with the kids while cheating on me the whole time. I gave up everything, my dreams, my music career, so she could chase hers and we could have a family. My kids were everything to me. Still are. But the truth is, my ex was always cold. She's bipolar, and I'll admit life with her wasn't exactly easy. There were a lot of dark moments. Her outbursts, physical, emotional, were brutal. I stayed because I thought maybe she couldn't control it. I wanted to believe she didn't mean it. But later I found out from people close to us that she'd actually admit to hitting me just because she felt like it or because she wasn't getting her way. My kids saw it happen. More than once. They saw her hit me. Scream at me. I never fought back. I hated that they had to witness any of it. I still do. Near the end, one day she lost it because I didn't take the trash out the second I walked in the door. She grabbed me by the neck and started choking me while our son stood there, frozen. Watching. I told her he's never going to forget this. And then she let go. I should have left a long time ago. I see that now. I like to tell myself I would have if it weren't for the kids. I didn't want them growing up in a broken home, so I held onto the stupid hope that maybe one day the woman I married would come back. But now I know she's been gone for years. After everything came to light, she actually sat down with the woman whose husband she'd been sleeping with and flat out told her, yes, it's true. No, I'm not sorry. Then she got up and walked out like it was nothing. That's how I heard it. Her friend told me what happened. Not long after, my ex took the kids and moved in with him. They didn't even move far, just into an apartment right behind ours. And even then, I kept hoping she'd realize this guy wasn't all he was cracked up to be. She knew he'd cheated on his own wife multiple times, besides with her. Still, I waited for almost a whole year thinking maybe she'd come back. She even kept a set of keys, and I thought maybe she's holding on to them because she's not done with us yet. But when the year ended, things turned cruel again. Her new boyfriend started showing up at the bus stop while I was dropping off the kids for school. He'd look me dead in the face and say, just here to see my daughter off. Not our daughter. My daughter. So I finally asked him, then why were you totally fine letting me raise her for 6 years? Why let her take my last name? Why let me be there when she was born, be her dad in every way? Where were you? Why is my name on her birth certificate and not yours? He almost punched me over that. Later that night, they both showed up at my place drunk, and he came ready to throw hands. That's when my ex decided to put everything out in public. She went on Facebook gushing about her new man like nothing ever happened. Our mutual friends were stunned. They started reaching out to me and to his wife too. I took screenshots of everything. She didn't seem to care how bad she looked, even with our divorce coming up fast. Then again, why would she care? I already hit her with the results of a paternity test. After that, I kind of spiraled. I started tearing myself up inside, thinking about everything I could have done differently. She kept blaming me for not being around enough, but how was I supposed to be there if I was working 2 jobs just to keep us afloat? I didn't clean the house when I got home because I was dead tired. And she'd be screaming at me about the trash, while the kids had colored all over the walls, broken the blinds, even punched holes in the drywall, while she was supposed to be watching them. But no, the real issue was that I didn't take out the trash after working 14 hours. The saddest part is, I still wanted my family back so badly that I actually started believing it was all my fault. Took me a while to really understand what was going on. Everything started to shift when my brother got involved. He was set on having me join his band. Even though I initially turned him down, he pushed me to at least meet the rest of the group before I made up my mind. That one decision ended up changing everything. I still said no to joining, but I hit it off with the band members and ended up casually dating a woman the rhythm guitarist introduced me to. It didn't take long for me to fall hard for her. She was 46, and it felt like such a relief to finally be with someone where the relationship didn't involve constant yelling and getting hit. During this time, like I've mentioned before, my ex still had a key to the apartment. Every now and then, she'd let herself in to drop off stuff for the kids. The first time she walked in and saw my new girlfriend there, it was a total disaster. That night, she called me up demanding to know who the woman was and why she was in our place. I actually kind of enjoyed telling her that who I was seeing was none of her business. She had moved on, left me, and was already living with someone else. But lately, she's been acting more and more unstable ever since I got serious with my new girlfriend. She even started stalking her. My ex sent my girlfriend a Facebook friend request and demanded she accept it. When my girlfriend didn't, my ex lost it, called me screaming, saying I needed to make her accept because she had to see what kind of person I was letting around our kids. My girlfriend didn't hesitate. She took the phone from me and told my ex straight up that she wasn't going to add her. She said that anything related to the kids could be handled through messenger or phone calls, and that my ex wasn't going to be involved in our private lives, friends, or family. She made it clear, my ex is not part of her life, period. Of course, my ex didn't take that well. Not long after, my girlfriend showed me her phone. There was a flood of friend requests from people who were all connected to my ex. Then my ex started letting herself into my apartment again. Every weekend, snooping around while I was at work. One day, I was on the phone with my girlfriend, who was staying at my place while I was gone, and I actually heard my ex come in. My girlfriend asked if she needed something, and my ex claimed she was just checking how much milk was in the fridge for the kids. My girlfriend told her we were good, and she left. When I got home, I told her flat out that she needed to give me back the apartment key. She didn't live there anymore. Instead of returning the key, she took my son's and made copies for herself. When my lease ended, my girlfriend suggested I move in with her so we could finally put some distance between us and my ex. Of course, my ex didn't make that easy. She even called the cops, claiming I was stealing her stuff. But when they asked what exactly was hers, she couldn't name a single thing left in my apartment that belonged to her. Now, we get the kids every other weekend. The sad part is, my kids told me their mom doesn't let them talk about anything they did with me. She says she doesn't want to hear it. But that didn't last. Now she's drilling them for every detail. I'm pretty sure it's just jealousy. We live near the beach now. My girlfriend does really well for herself, and when the kids are with us, we walk down to the boardwalk, let them ride the rides, play on the beach, or visit the aquarium. If they go home with souvenirs, my ex throws them away. Lately, I've noticed something weird. When my ex drops the kids off, she started dressing and styling herself like my girlfriend. She dyed and cut her hair to match hers. And everything we do with the kids, she tries to copy it the next week. If we go to the beach, she takes them to the beach. If we visit the zoo, suddenly she's taking them to the zoo. She even asks what we had for dinner with them and then makes the same meal, demanding to know which one they liked better. Last week, my son told me he wants to live with us because, in his words, "Mom's crazy. You better believe I'm taking all of this to court." And just when I thought things couldn't get any weirder, she started texting me pictures of bears. Yeah, bears. What the hell? My girlfriend was sitting right next to me when they came through, and I immediately told her I didn't ask for them and that I wasn't having any kind of weird convo with my ex. I even handed her my phone and told her to look for herself. She scrolled through the pics, then asked for my ex's number. She said she wanted to send her own bears just to show her how it's really done. I called up my ex and straight up asked her what the hell she was trying to pull. I told her my girlfriend had seen the messages. She was sitting right there next to me and she was pissed. My ex tried playing it off, saying she meant to send those photos to someone else. My girlfriend jumped in and pointed out that my name starts with one end of the alphabet and her supposed boyfriend's name is way on the other. Then she asked, "So who's this new guy these were really for?" My ex didn't say a word, just hung up. Honestly, I have no clue what kind of twisted game my ex is playing at this point. It's completely insane. Let me clear a few things up because I keep seeing comments like people think I'm still living with her or something. First off, my girlfriend didn't actually send any pictures back. That "send her own bears" comment was just a sarcastic response to my ex's ridiculous attempt at being seductive. The pics my ex sent were just her with her shirt off, making duck faces in the mirror, holding her phone up like she was still in high school. My girlfriend just made a joke about how unoriginal it all was. Second, I don't live at that old apartment anymore, the one I used to share with my ex. I moved in with my girlfriend. Even though I got the apartment key back from my ex, she swiped my son's keys and kept sneaking in whenever she felt like it. She has zero access to where I live now, and even my kids don't have keys to the new place, just to be safe. Third, I'm in the middle of a custody battle for the kids. It's tough, especially since I'm not my daughter's biological father. But I'm on her birth certificate as the dad, so I'm fighting for my legal rights to stay in her life. Fourth, my ex has been prescribed medication, but to be real, I'm starting to seriously doubt she's actually taking it. Fifth, I always check the kids for bruises or any signs they've been hurt. I make sure they're safe. Thing is, she got physical with her current boyfriend and he ended up punching a hole in the wall. He told her flat out that if she ever raised a hand to him again, he'd fight back. Update 1. This past weekend was my daughter's official 7th birthday. It wasn't my weekend to have the kids, so I was surprised when my ex called and asked if I wanted them for her birthday. Of course I said yes. She even let me keep them for an extra 2 days. At first, I figured she and her boyfriend probably had plans and just wanted to drop the kids off so they could go do whatever. But what really got to me was this. This was his chance to celebrate his girlfriend's daughter's birthday, and instead, he didn't even show up. She gave her to me and my girlfriend to celebrate. Tell me that's not messed up. Update 2. Just when I think things can't get any more ridiculous, Saturday night I got this angry text from my ex saying she hopes I'm effing happy that I won. I probably should have ignored it, but I couldn't help myself. I asked her what her problem was. Her reply didn't make a lick of sense. Then she told me to go ahead and gloat times 10 because something had apparently happened to her and now she was accusing me of somehow being involved in it. I asked her what she thought I was in on, but instead of giving a straight answer, she launched into some rant about how all men are trash and can't be trusted. That told me 2 things right off the bat. 1, she was drunk out of her mind again. And 2, the guy she left me for must have cheated on her. I didn't even bother replying. When she gets like that, there's no winning. Anything I say just leads to a blow-up. So I read the messages and honestly, I thought she got exactly what she signed up for. She walked out on me for a guy who was already married and had cheated on his wife 3 times, my ex being the 3rd. I actually warned her about it when she was leaving me and she told me I know what I'm getting into. Guess she thought she was gonna be the one to change him. When she ran out of names to call me, she went after my girlfriend. Said she was ugly as F******, and that I could have had any woman, but I chose someone ugly to replace her. Let me tell you, my girlfriend is gorgeous inside and out. She's everything my ex isn't. And yeah, like I've said before, my ex is insanely jealous. She's even started copying my girlfriend's look, trying to dress like her and stalking her whenever she gets the chance. She kept going, saying I didn't really love my girlfriend. That there's no way I could have fallen for the first woman I slept with after our split. But here's the thing, my ex and I had already been separated for a full year by the time I met my girlfriend. And yeah, it took me some time to trust again, but when I did, it was real. Trust like that doesn't come easy, it has to be earned. Then she hit me with this accusation. That the only reason I love my girlfriend is because I lost my apartment, and now I'm just sucking up to her for a place to stay. Yeah, that's how she put it. According to her, it's only love when you're homeless. At the time, I actually had my own place, right across the street from my ex-wife, believe it or not, because she chose to stay in the same complex just to rub it in my face every single day that she left me for one of my own friends. When my lease ended, I figured it was time for a change, so I moved in with my girlfriend and transferred my job to be closer. It was obvious she was trying to start a fight, but I wasn't going to take the bait. And just when I thought she couldn't say anything more childish or ridiculous, she hit me with, "I'm sorry I wasn't enough for you." God, I wanted to call her right then and there and scream, "You weren't enough for me? I wasn't enough for you." She left me. Did she forget that part? Which one of us walked out? And which one of us replaced the other with someone else the second they did? She dumped me for a married guy, one who'd already cheated on his wife more than once. Real class act. Then she shifted her anger toward my girlfriend, saying we both knew that deep down, she, my ex, was the one I really wanted. That my girlfriend couldn't even compare. Couldn't hold a candle to her. That's when I hit my limit. I told her to reach out when she was sober and had her head on straight, and I shut off my phone. A few hours later, my girlfriend came home and could immediately tell something was off. She asked what happened. I warned her she might get upset, handed her my phone, and told her to read the messages for herself. She went through them, laughed her ass off, gave me the phone back and said, "Looks like he cheated." I shrugged and told her, "Yeah, seems like it," and I tried to comfort her, thinking maybe the stuff my ex said would make her start doubting me. But she wasn't even fazed. Not one bit. She just said, "Your ex's narcissism really goes full throttle when she's drunk," and guessed that my ex was probably just pissed she couldn't use me for a revenge hookup to get back at the guy who cheated on her. I haven't heard from my ex since. And if I had to bet, I'd say she woke up the next day, read over what she sent and felt stupid about it. Probably went crawling back to that guy too. She hates being alone. And I'm still dealing with the aftershocks of 21 years of her mental and emotional abuse. That kind of damage doesn't just disappear. It didn't matter what I did. I was always wrong. Even when I was right, I was wrong for disagreeing or for making her feel dumb. Now I see it for what it was, just classic narcissistic guilt tripping. And a lot of that behavior stuck with me. I don't even realize I'm still walking on eggshells half the time. Like, when my phone goes off, I'll automatically blurt out who it is and show it to my girlfriend. Something I used to do just to avoid fights and accusations. I don't have to do that anymore, but it's hard to break the habit. Most of the time, she doesn't even look. Just says, "You're doing it again." And that's the messed up part. If she doesn't check, I feel like she didn't verify what I said. And that makes me anxious, like it might come back to bite me later. I know it won't. But my brain's still wired to expect the worst. There's so much baggage I'm still unpacking. I know I'll get there eventually, but man, that's the hard part. Recovering from all of it. Not just the betrayal, but unlearning the emotional control tactics that were used on me for years. You think you've healed, but then you get into a new relationship. And boom, the floodgates open. Suddenly, you're doing all the same stuff you used to do in your last relationship just to keep the peace instead of just being yourself. It's a long road back. Update 3. So, since the last time I checked in, the guy my ex left me for ended up cheating on her. Big shocker there. And, just like I figured, they were back together within 3 days. Honestly, I saw that coming from a mile away. She's got no one else to fall back on. So now she's stuck with him. Since that whole mess, I really haven't heard much from her. Just the occasional document needing a signature for the divorce or the usual stuff about the kids, and I've been grateful for the peace. But deep down, I know it's only a matter of time before she gets drunk and sends me another one of her lovely, "You're a piece of crap" rants. On Halloween, my band got invited to play at this annual event one of my good friends throws. It's kind of a tradition. I've been doing it for a few years now. My ex used to come along when we were together, but last year she stayed away. That was the same year I found out she'd been sleeping with my best friend, and that my daughter, who's 7 now, is actually his. She wasn't welcome this year either. But she showed up anyway. She came dragging her boyfriend, the same one she cheated on me with, who also cheated on her, and brought the kids along too. I was livid. These parties are adults only, and she knows that. I'm convinced she brought the kids just to cause drama and maybe even get me kicked out. Security kept telling her she couldn't come in, but she stood there arguing, saying the kids just wanted to see their dad perform. Next thing I know, security's telling me I need to get my kids out of there, and she's yelling that I'm choosing a party over my own children. My buddy who hosts the party stepped in and told her she could stay long enough to watch me do 2 songs, then she had to go. If not, he was calling the cops. I told him not to bend over backward for her, but he said he was only doing it for the kids' sake. The whole night was a mess. I was up on stage performing, not fully aware of everything going down behind the scenes. But during a break between sets, people started cluing me in. Apparently, my ex tried to pick a fight with my girlfriend, and let's just say that didn't work out in her favor. My girlfriend shut her down hard, called her out for dragging the kids into her mind games. And a bunch of people saw it happen. As soon as I walked off stage, I had folks coming up to me, pointing out where they were and filling me in on everything. By the time I got there, whatever had happened was already over, but I could see my ex standing across the room, shooting daggers at my girlfriend. Then came the moment that really sealed the night. My daughter, loud as ever, announced in front of everyone that she has two dads, me and mommy's boyfriend who's actually her biological dad. That totally humiliated my ex. She snapped something like, "Thanks for making me look like trash," and took off after that. But my son? He refused to leave with her. He wanted to stay with me. Apparently, my ex had her boyfriend come over and ask my girlfriend if we could keep him for the night. She agreed and worked it out with my friend to keep my son close to her for the rest of the event. We brought him home the following night. That whole evening had my nerves shredded. I must have apologized 1,000 times to my friend, to my girlfriend, to my son for dragging them into the middle of all that chaos. I messed up every single song I played because I couldn't stop scanning the crowd, trying to keep an eye on where everyone was, terrified something physical might break out. I didn't even find out until after my set that my ex had just left. Straight up bailed, left our son behind without saying a word. When I took him home the next night, she made sure she wasn't there. Her boyfriend told me she knew I was coming and didn't want to face me. She was avoiding the confrontation altogether. He apologized and even tried to open up about how she'd been acting lately, but I shut that down quick. I told him I wasn't going to get into it and walked away. Later that night, I got a call from my son. He said they were fighting, screaming at each other, and it was all about me. Her boyfriend had finally had enough and accused her of still being hung up on me. He asked her flat out if what really bothered her was the fact that I moved on and she couldn't come crawling back. Or maybe if she hadn't left me for him when she did, I would have ended up leaving her for my girlfriend instead. That, according to my son, is what lit the fuse. I could hear them yelling in the background while I was on the phone with him. I asked if he needed me to come get him, but he told me no. So I just stayed on the line with him until it all calmed down. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Still knee-deep in the divorce, still pushing forward one step at a time. I've stopped dwelling on everything I've lost. Right now, my focus is getting my kids out of that environment. And yeah, that's still a fight I'm in the middle of. Update 4. The other day, my 7-year-old daughter was going on and on about her elf at my soon-to-be ex-wife's place. So my girlfriend decided to surprise her. We got an elf for our place too. She set it up, thinking our daughter would be excited that her elf sent a friend to watch her while she was with us. But man, her reaction was seriously disturbing. The second she saw the elf, she flipped. She went straight into a full-blown meltdown, screaming at it to leave, yelling that it was bad and told lies, threatening to snitch on it to Santa. She was losing it, saying over and over that it had to go or else. My girlfriend tried to calm her down, saying, "Look, it's not going to lie. If you're good, it tells Santa you're good. If you're bad, it just tells Santa the truth." But that didn't help. Not even a little. My daughter just glared, baring her teeth, and growled at my girlfriend, "He's going to tell on me." I was floored. My mind started racing. Why is she terrified of this elf, but totally fine with the one at her mom's? What kind of things is she saying at her mom's house that my ex is just brushing off? And what else is my ex ignoring? We've already had some issues with my daughter lying. She likes to make stuff up, like saying her brother hit her even when he's nowhere near her. We've been working on that. I even brought it up with my ex and her response was basically, "Yeah, I know. I'm handling it." Well, today when I drop the kids off, I plan on confronting her about the whole elf situation because something just isn't adding up. I don't think I'm overreacting. There's something going on over there that I don't fully see yet. I'm seriously considering getting my daughter into therapy because this is starting to feel bigger than just some tantrums. Something's definitely not right over there. That much I know for sure. And yeah, I already know how it goes at her mom's place. Over there, she's the little princess because her biological dad is around and she can do no wrong in his eyes. Meanwhile, he treats my son like crap just because he's mine. My girlfriend and I had a talk with the kids about everything going on. We asked my son if his sister acts the same way at their moms, lying, trying to get people in trouble. He said she does, but not nearly as much. Which left us wondering, why is she pulling this kind of stuff mainly here? We asked my daughter why she lies about her brother. She immediately got defensive, insisting he does hit her. She even claimed it just happened. But the thing is, he wasn't even in the house. He'd been outside taking out the trash and hadn't been near her all day. He avoids her, actually, because of all the false accusations. When we pointed out she was lying, she got furious, raised her fist at my girlfriend, and threatened her. I took away the TV and video games and asked her, "Why are you acting like this? Why can't you just behave?" And she looked me dead in the eye and growled, "Because I don't want to." So yeah, it's clear I need to tighten up the discipline. I'm not about to let this kind of behavior slide. Update 5. Turns out, my daughter's breakdown over the elf opened the door to a much bigger mess than I expected. I started digging into what triggered that kind of reaction and man, I ended up falling into a whole rabbit hole of problems I didn't even know existed. Quick recap, over the weekend my girlfriend and I bought her an elf on the shelf because she kept talking about how much she loved the one at her mom's house. But as soon as she saw ours, she snapped. She started yelling that it had to go, that it was going to report her to Santa. Which raised the obvious question, why was the elf at her mom's cool but ours was somehow threatening? I asked her about it but didn't get any real answers. Later that day we had dinner with my girlfriend's ex-stepmom. Long story short, my girlfriend's dad cheated on her stepmom and instead of cutting ties, my girlfriend stayed close with her stepmom. Honestly, that's meant a lot to me. It really shows where her values are, especially after everything I've been through with my ex. Anyway, during dinner, her stepmom casually brought up some past abuse my girlfriend went through at the hands of her stepdad on her mom's side. My son clearly had a reaction to what happened, but he didn't say a word at the time. Then, while we were driving back to drop them off, he finally let it all out. He opened up about everything that had been going on at their mom's place. Honestly, I didn't see it coming at all. Turns out, the ex-wife of my soon-to-be ex-wife's boyfriend has been dealing with their affair in the nastiest way possible. She's furious and completely out for revenge. She's going all in to make their lives miserable by any means she can think of. That even includes dragging her own kids into it and getting them to target my son just because he's the child of the woman who stole her husband. And now those kids? They've been teaching their little half-sister, my daughter, though she's technically his daughter too, to gang up on my son. When I asked my daughter about it, she told me it was just a game. I explained to her that picking on her brother isn't funny, it's actually really mean and it's definitely not a game. That's when she started crying and throwing a tantrum, yelling that I didn't want her to have any fun. I told her that it stops now. She rolled her eyes and said, but I don't want to. It's fun. Like, what the hell? I let her know straight up that if it keeps happening, there will be consequences. I'm done letting this slide. If she keeps being cruel to her brother, I'm taking everything away. No TV. No toys. No video games. Nothing. That sparked another meltdown, but I didn't back down. After I dropped the kids off, I looked my ex straight in the eye and asked her what the hell was going on. I told her everything my son told me. She admitted that the other betrayed spouse, the OBS, has been doing everything she can to make their lives hell. Apparently, the OBS knows their schedules for side gigs and has been sabotaging them, which has been hitting them hard financially. My ex even told me Christmas was probably going to suck for them this year because of it. I told her how the other kids were being coached to mess with our son and that our daughter was being dragged into it too. Her response? There's only so much I can do. She claimed she can't watch them every second. I told her that if she's aware this stuff is happening, then she better do something because I'm not okay with this crap bleeding into my home. And let's be real, she's not doing a damn thing. None of those kids are facing any consequences, and my daughter clearly thinks she can get away with whatever at her mom's place. She still hasn't learned that actions have consequences, and I have to reteach that lesson every other weekend. Every time I get her, we're starting all over again. It's like hitting reset constantly. And now it makes sense why she's scared of the elf at my place but not the one at her mom's. Over there are no rules. So yeah, now I've got a whole new mess to deal with. The OBS is making life miserable for all of us. I'm absolutely bringing this up in court. These kids, my kids, are being emotionally abused by the AP's children because of all this drama. You better believe I'm going to speak up about it. Edit, I'm going for custody of both my kids. Not that I wasn't already, but now I've got even more reason to fight for them now that I know what's actually happening over there. Honestly, it even explains the elf thing. My daughter doesn't worry about the elf at her mom's place because she knows there's no punishment waiting for her. She gets to misbehave all she wants and no one does anything about it. But at my place? She knows I'll call her out. I always had a feeling my ex wasn't stepping up when it came to parenting. And now, between how my daughter acted, what my son told me, and what my ex admitted, it's clear. She's just not dealing with it. But you know what? She could. She just doesn't want to. So it's on me now. And that's fine because I'm taking this to court. Update 6, it all officially ended today. We were on a Zoom call with the court and just like that it was over. I've pictured this day in my head 1,000 times over the past year. And then it happened just like that. The whole thing took 10 minutes. Neither of us fought it. She didn't ask for anything, not that she could. The paternity tests made everything clear. They only asked me a couple quick questions and most of them weren't even directed at me. One of them was whether there was any chance of saving the marriage. I said no. They asked me if I wanted to move forward with the divorce that day. I said yes. What got me though was when they asked her if there had ever been any domestic abuse or issues and she flat out said no. Funny thing is, no one asked me that. And yeah, I got hit plenty. But I guess none of that mattered in the end. Either way, it was going to be over. And now it is. All that's left is family court for custody of the kids, and with everything that's been happening lately, things are definitely tipping in my direction. She waited maybe 10 minutes after court ended before blasting it all over Facebook. I know because my phone blew up. Friends were sending me screenshots left and right. She posted some nonsense about how divorce is hard and how we need to be good role models for the kids. And then she tagged me. Big mistake. My friends lit her up in the comments, saying a better example would have been not running to social media looking for sympathy and likes the moment the ink was dry. Honestly, I don't have much room to talk. I'm here venting to strangers too. But at least I waited a few hours and none of y'all know me personally. Still, it's done. And I don't even know how to feel about it. I just feel blank. Update: it's been a little while since I've posted anything, and I really appreciate everyone who reached out. I've just been in kind of a mood with everything that's going on, and I didn't feel up to writing an update. The divorce was finalized last month, so at least that part's behind me. Christmas was mostly okay, except for the fact that my ex lost her job and the guy she moved in with isn't making enough to cover their bills. So she actually came to me for help with the kids. I wanted to tell her to go pound sand. She waited until 5 days before Christmas to say anything, and my girlfriend and I had to scramble through half-empty stores trying to find decent gifts. And before anyone says I should have let her crash and burn so the kids could see what kind of person she really is, I almost did. But I couldn't bring myself to ruin Christmas for my kids. So I told her I'd help this one time. Just once. When she came to pick up the presents, she asked if she could come inside to see where the kids sleep. I told her that wasn't a good idea. She told me it wasn't a request. It was her right. She tried to push past me. That's when my girlfriend stepped in. She got right in my ex's face and told her, flat out, she's not setting one foot inside this house. If she's got concerns, she can call someone. But she will never be welcome in her home. My ex backed down. The rest of the night, I was just trying to calm my girlfriend down. She was ready to go full nuclear on my ex. The best way I can describe it is, my girlfriend's got her number. My ex tries to stir the pot, and every time, she fails miserably. Then she complains to anyone who'll listen that it's not fair she's being shut out when the kids are with me. But our life is not her business anymore. She's not part of it. And my girlfriend has made that perfectly clear. My ex has no place in this chapter of my life. Maybe I'm dumb for this, but I've let my girlfriend take charge in situations like that. She's not fazed by my ex one bit. She's better at spotting and calling out the BS than I am. Where my ex will challenge me, try to manipulate me, or guilt trip me, my girlfriend doesn't budge. She's a damn wall. And since that confrontation, my ex hasn't tried pulling any more stunts. I've also gotten the kids into therapy. Things have been escalating at their mom's house. We set up a camera in the living room and it's been catching a lot of stuff. Like my daughter punching my son and then screaming that he hit her when he didn't. We've been confronting her about the lies, and she's finally starting to get that those games won't fly over here. My son, though, he's struggling. He's getting really frustrated with how slow the court stuff is moving. It's wearing on him. He wants to live with me full-time and he's not handling the weight well. He's really bonded with my girlfriend too, and I'm grateful for that. There's no tension between them. That's one less thing I have to worry about. But over at his mom's, he's losing it. He's yelling, punching walls, picking fights. I know he's desperate to get out of there, and I'm doing everything I can to make it happen. I believe it will. As if that weren't enough, there's a new issue. My girlfriend's ex-boyfriend has started stalking her. And here's the wild part. It was actually another ex of hers, my bandmate, the same guy who introduced me to her, who told me about it. Apparently, the guy lost it the other night after my bandmate told him, "She's happy now. She's moved on. You need to do the same." His response to being told she'd moved on? He drove his car into a guardrail trying to take himself out. I swear, there's so much insanity in my life these days I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or start selling tickets. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Update: D-Day was over 3 years ago. The divorce was finalized 5 months back. She's still with the AP, and I moved on about a year ago. Overall, my life is way better without her in it. But even now, 3 years later, I'm still discovering things. Turns out there was another friend of mine she slept with before she even hooked up with the AP. I'd love to say it didn't bother me, but it did. It just made me realize that I'd been played for even longer than I thought. I missed the signs twice, and now that I know my daughter isn't mine, I've started wondering if my son is. He doesn't look like me. None of his features match mine, and they don't exactly match hers either. I keep going back and forth on whether I really want to know the truth. Honestly, I don't think I could survive that kind of blow again. Sometimes I think maybe ignorance really is bliss. I try to put as much of her and all the crap behind me as I can. But when you have kids together, it's not so easy. I'm stuck co-parenting with her until they're grown. At first, I thought we could keep things civil. I didn't go full gray rock, because I wanted to show the kids we could still cooperate and be there for them. But you know how it goes, the ones with the most to feel guilty about are always the first to go on the offensive. She kept trying to twist everything around and put the blame on me, even when it was all said and done. And the wildest part? She still tried to control me, still thought she could tell me how things were gonna go. When I pushed back and didn't give her what she wanted, she flipped. She even tried her usual games on my girlfriend. But that didn't go how she planned. Long story short, my girlfriend put her in her place. She's dealt with narcissists before. This wasn't her first rodeo. In the end, I really do feel like I came out ahead. I've got a new job, a new home, a new relationship, and a fresh start. I'm doing way better than my ex, who's now dealing with the consequences of her choices. She didn't just wreck our life, she blew up AP's too. His ex-wife has been making things hell for them, and sadly my kids are caught in the middle of that mess. It's affecting them, and that breaks my heart. That woman is the walking definition of hell hath no fury. She's hit them hard, especially financially. My ex has already come to me crying broke more than once. She lost her job 5 months ago and still hasn't found another. Meanwhile, she's living off the AP and his ex is bleeding him dry. I don't feel bad for either of them. I only hate what it's doing to my kids. So yeah, I help my kids. But just them. I won't hand over cash. Instead, I make sure they have what they need directly. I'm not giving her a chance to take my money and blow it at a bar. That's exactly who she is and part of why she got fired in the first place. I'm still fighting for custody. Even for the child who isn't biologically mine. I have to get them away from her. My son has developed a deep resentment toward his mom, and she's got no one to blame but herself. She's the one who told him why we got divorced. He knows his sister is the AP's kid and he makes no secret of it. He even told my girlfriend before I had the chance. I was trying to ease her into everything, not dump all my baggage on her right away. I already had enough going on as a newly divorced dad. But my son? He's angry. Really angry. On the upside, he and my girlfriend are incredibly close. That's his best friend. They've got a solid bond. My daughter, though, she's her mother's clone. She lies, manipulates, and reacts the exact same way her mom does when things don't go her way. She's definitely been learning by example. The cameras we set up in the house have been lifesavers. They've caught her in lie after lie. She loves accusing people of being mean to her and especially accusing my son of hitting her. The footage shows her running up to him, hitting him, then screaming that he hurt her. We confronted her and showed her the videos. She had a full-on meltdown when she realized she'd been caught. After that, she stopped accusing him. Now she's sneaking into stuff she's not supposed to, or playing the mom said I could or dad said I could game to get her way when neither of us said anything of the sort. That's another reason the cameras are up. Technically, they're for home security. But they serve a dual purpose. If my daughter gets a bruise or scratch, my ex immediately starts screaming child abuse. She's even tried accusing my girlfriend of hurting the kids. But the reality? My daughter tried leaping from the couch to a chair, pretending the floor was lava. She landed wrong. So I sent my ex the footage. She saw exactly what happened and how we handled the situation the moment it happened. After a few of those clips, she finally backed off and stopped accusing us of stuff. I hate that I had to go as far as installing cameras, but honestly, it gives me peace of mind. Now I know my ex can't twist things or come at me with lies. It also helps when I'm at work. I can check in and see what my girlfriend's up to, usually just reading a book, watching something, or playing video games with my son or with her little brother who's around the same age. Having those cameras? Yeah, it helps with my trust issues too. Thank you for watching and sticking with me through this tough story. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.